All right, welcome to a very special, the Bald and Beardiful Thanksgiving week. I'm Chris.
I'm Bryce,
I'm Bald.
and I'm Beardiful. I'm not gonna lie. Since this is before Thanksgiving, when you said this is a very special week, I was like, "Why?" I was we've talked about so much trying to plan this episode. I was just like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Thanksgiving is like 2 days away."
Yeah, we're 2 days away from Thanksgiving. We got lots of Thursday football this week.
Yeah, we do. We got 3 games.
Three games.
They kind of treat it like a Sunday. They have a 3 time slots instead of like 10 games in the first time slot. You just have one per each.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, before we talk turkey, let's get into our recap is probably more accurate than anything else.
It really is. Neither one of us did outstanding. I actually think we're well. Just to hit the spoiler, we both went negative.
I mean, well,
Some
we
of
just
us
have
more
to,
than others.
yeah, and the more than others is you.
Oh yeah, definitely me. Um, God, it was just so bad. It was just so bad. Um, Overall, I'm not totally unhappy with my choices. I mean, for one obvious reason, but I'm just gonna go through mine. New Orleans, they won. They couldn't beat the spread. I didn't think Carolina had it in them. So good on them, giving me -6.5 points. I'm gonna skip the heartbreaker for the moment, but I'll come back to it. I picked Philly, and we've said it before. We said it in our last episode. Whenever you and I go opposite sides, because you pick Seattle, you always win. I don't know what, like, more often than not you've won. I've won once out of like the 4 or 5 that we've done that. So just seeing it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lose that one. I lost it by 9.5 points. It was so bad. Detroit again. I said this in against Washington. I said it probably 4 recaps ago. Washington likes to keep it a close game, and not only did they keep it a close game, they pulled out a victory, which it just it hurt. Like, I'm proud of them. They got their second win of the season. Congrats, you did it when I'm voting against you. Baltimore was a lock. We knew Baltimore was going to absolutely was going to win. We did not know they were going to absolutely destroy. We'll come back to Baltimore because you picked them too. I don't want to hear your thoughts on them. But Oakland, what in the world happened to Oakland? Oakland got demolished. And not only did they get demolished, they got demolished by the Jets. The Jets have not done much this entire season. I don't know what to make of that game. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know if they just finally got their stuff together, if Oakland tripped and fell. Your
yeah,
your thoughts?
fluke or I don't know. I really did not expect this. I didn't watch this game. Did you get to watch any of this game? I only was
Um,
like paying attention to the score.
I just got to yeah. I just kind of I saw a little bit. It was during the Steelers game, so I was more watching that one. But the Jets are now 4-7. Like, they were not a high scoring team. I mean, or at least a high winning team. I
I
mean,
didn't see any like major or injuries or anything like that either. So I don't think it was like some big injuries. Like in those games where like there's like catastrophic failure, like everybody gets injured, everybody goes out, and like the wheels come off the cart, right?
right.
I don't think that happened. I just don't really. I don't know if they're positioning for a lower draft spot, maybe. You know what I mean? Like they don't win. They win, but they don't win too many. They still like. I mean, I know they have quite a few, uh, number one draft picks coming up, but to keep some other position draft picks in that range by not winning too much. Maybe I don't know. That's the only thing I can really think of because they're like
You think it was
based
a strategic loss?
a strategic loss. Yeah, I mean that's the only
If
way I can explain this away.
if it was, they would not have only allowed a field goal. That can't just be strategy. But just to put a bow tie on mine. Baltimore got me 36 points. Well after I was already negative 100 or something, because Jets got me negative 34, and then every other one of my picks was negative. Therefore, I end with a negative 20.5 for this week.
All right, jumping back into mine here. Yeah, Oakland absolutely killed me. Uh, set me up for not. I mean, set me up for failure for sure. Uh, Atlanta failing big time at home against Tampa Bay, just not doing it. Playing so well the weeks before.
Right.
I don't know if it was just like they got into a shootout with Tampa, and Tampa's just been in shootouts all season, and they haven't come up on the right side of pretty much any of them. Um, that's all I can really think of. I mean, Austin Hooper's out. Atlanta's what was it? Running back Freeman, right? Devonta Freeman, he's out, but they still have decent running back by committee. They still have good receivers, even without Hooper, you still have Julio Jones, you still have Calvin Ridley, OJ Howard. Because is a receiving threat. So I think maybe they just got a little ahead of themselves from the previous games. The defense didn't show up, but that hurt. But that wasn't necessarily the end of the world, right? Your team decided to not cover the spread, but just
Only by a
barely,
little. Only
just
by a
but just
little.
barely. But it is against Cincinnati.
And in all fairness, they didn't take Rudolph out until like the fourth quarter or something.
So, but minor hiccup there, really, in the grand scheme of things. Mitigating some of the pain. Seattle coming up big in Philly.
Indeed.
Uh, that game could have been a lot worse. Like it really could have. Like there were definitely some questionable play calls on Seattle's side. They should have had more points. They really should have had more points. But positive game nonetheless, right? And
Right.
then the absolute decimation of the Rams, which I don't know what happened. Like we expected them to lose, right? Like the Ravens were going to win this game, but not in this fashion. It was like Ivan Drago when he beats the ever loving life out of Apollo Creed, you know, throwing the towel. That's what it is. We're just screaming that at the TV.
Right. Um. Yeah. I mean, it was still a fun game to watch. I mean, not if you're you know,
Well,
fan.
and then I have Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson, one of my fantasy leagues, and I came into the game down 24 points with 2 players left, to go up by at least 20 to take it and
Oh
take the
yeah.
score of the week as well.
Well, in the league you play with us, you were playing against the guy that had Lamar Jackson,
And I
and
crushed him.
you were up by 100 points before that game started. I mean, Lamar's good, but he's not that good. I mean, the guy that you played with him, I'm like, if you just had some better players, you could have had a better week. Or you did. He just. I mean, anybody else? You probably. I actually didn't see the overall scores, but you were the only one this week that broke 100. Did you
Yeah,
see that?
in dominating fashion, 142 in standard scoring.
And no one else got even past 100.
No, and that's what's sad. Like I'm on my losing weeks. I had some pretty bad losing weeks, but in other weeks, like the other couple losses that I have, like no real dominant points, right? But I managed to end up against the one team that manages to outscore me.
Oh, that's all. That's all they need sometimes.
All right, enough of this recap. Let's move into week 13. Uh, so turkey, lots and lots of turkey and pie to be had. The turducken will be appearing
Out of
once
curiosity,
again.
what's your favorite pie?
My favorite pie, my favorite Thanksgiving pie, or just pie in general.
It's Thanksgiving pie. Duh. This is the episode.
Thanksgiving pie. Ooh, that's gonna. I really. See, okay, I'm gonna go
It's
with
a puzzler.
apple. I'm gonna go with apple just because my grandmother, my mom's mom, makes an incredible apple pie. Makes the pie crust from scratch still to this day, right? Uh, Apple pie, that's for sure. My mom makes a great pumpkin pie as well, but grandma's apple pie is definitely bang up, lights out.
Um, I feel like Dad and G always had cherry pie, which is really pretty good. Or am I confusing it with Christmas? Because I think it could go. I think the cherry pie could go either way.
That's true. Cherry pie can go either way. Um, I don't remember if which is which. If honestly, it could appear at both as
Yeah,
well.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not necessarily singling out the pies that they put out during holidays. Although speaking of pies, Rock Springs pie, the Rock Springs Diner pie, and like uh pie shop. I don't know what up on the way to Prescott, right? Bang up
Okay.
pies, right? But they do a Jack Daniel's pecan pie that's super yummy, especially warm. Um, and totally forgot to order my pies ahead of time because you have to order them like a month in advance and they sell out every year.
I did not know this was a recurring thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they sell out every year. And like if you go in if you were to go in the last like 2 weeks, you wouldn't have been able to buy a pie. Like, cause normally like they have like pre-made pies out. You can order pies like they have a list of pies that you can pre-order and go and pick them up. But you could also like go in and just pick up a pie off the shelf, right?
Right.
And you can buy a slice too, whatever. Yeah, the 2 weeks around Christmas and Thanksgiving, you can't walk in. The shelves are empty. They don't sell pies outside of pre-order. Other than like you can still get pie in like the diner, like you can get slices of pie, but you can't buy a whole pie during that time unless you pre-ordered.
All right. We really need to stop talking about businesses that aren't paying us.
I mean, I'd be okay if Rock Springs wanted to sponsor us with pie. Like they don't have to actually give us money; they can just give us pie.
What is this ad worth to you? A sliver of pie. Oh, dang.
we're, no, we're talking. Yeah, I'm gonna need a whole key lime for this. All right, bring on the turducken.
My first thought when you keep saying that is the episode of the league where the guinea pig gets in the duck or the hamster. What was it? Guinea? I don't remember if it was guinea
I
pig or
think
a
it's a guinea
hamster.
pig. I think it's a guinea pig. It was a little bit bigger than a hamster. 'Cause hamsters are pretty small.
Yeah. I went first. I'll let you go first this time. Go for it.
All right, so we'll start with or I'll start with the overlaps, right? Oh, no, no. Let me start with the different ones. Here we go. Okay, so because I absolutely can't manage to pick games to save my life this year, and normally I gave everybody crap in past seasons that you know to get on my level, and now I'm completely like uh, I don't know what.
I'm
Went
more
a
than happy
little,
to drag you down.
yeah, went a little bit opposite, right? Normally I would not pick Dallas on Thursday, like just totally would stay away from that. Went against that, picking the Cowboys at home on Thanksgiving to barbecue Buffalo. Shout out to Lori. Hey,
Do
Kamish.
Do you know what Dallas's record is for Thanksgiving?
I don't remember. You want to tell me?
I didn't look it up. I was hoping you would know. I am doing a quick
All
search
right. Well,
and
you're doing that
stalling
quick
for
search.
time.
I will talk about the other games that I have. Jets at Cincinnati. Really, this has nothing to do with their performance against Oakland. I kind of feel that that was a fluke. I really just don't think that Cincinnati wins. Period. Like well, they're bringing what's his name? Big Red back at starting quarterback. Why can't I think of his name? Big Red. That's what I'm gonna leave.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, Mr. Dalton is was announced as starting quarterback this week, but I don't think that matters at all, really. I mean, I think that's probably still an improvement over their backup that was starting. Like, I just don't think he's ready. I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't think he's ready quite yet for that. So once again, don't think that that's going to matter. AJ Green's still not in the lineup. Um, I think the Jets have enough gas in the tank to take this one, right? Indy at home, Jacoby Brissett's back. Tennessee did do a bang up job this last week. Derrick Henry really crushed it. But Indy at home has been pretty lethal. So that's really where I'm going with that. And I'm pretty sure we should see T.Y. Hilton suit up. No guarantee on that. I don't believe. I think he's still questionable, was the last thing I saw. But either way, they have with even with Marlon Mack out, they still have a decent running back by committee that can totally, fill that gap, right? And you bring Ty back into the lineup. I don't think that Tennessee's gonna have that answer, even though they have been playing real well, solid play out of Tannehill. But is it an Indy at home just seems to be too lethal. I think they take this one, right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
got you.
jumping into our. Did you get the Dallas record?
No, I'm still looking. The best I could find so far is that when they play the Redskins, which they're playing the Bills, they are 8-1 against the Redskins on Thanksgiving. But I found a site that gave me every single game they were in, but it wouldn't tell me how many they won and how many they lost. It was so
You
infuriating.
are the worst Googler.
I've looked through like 3 sites already trying to find this thing. Are you searching now? What's going on? I thought you still have one more game to talk about.
Yep, we still have the all-time results of the Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving Day. Let's see. So
Really?
let's see. No, let me just here. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Well, they played since. Um,
Okay, I guess while you're looking, I'm gonna go in a couple of mine then. Uh, skip the overlaps. Go straight to Washington. Washington going to Carolina. I'm picking this as an upset. Washington coming off a victory. They're going up against Carolina, who did play well, but I'm hoping Washington keeps it close and can easily cover that spread, especially if they win that game. That's a great spread for Washington, and if they do pull off a win, it's amazing in points. And then New England. I picked New England solely off New England is almost a guaranteed win in most games, and that's really messed up thing to say. I think like when you play New England, you figure they have at least an 85% chance of winning, even if they're down, 4 major players. But seeing the spread was just -3, I feel like New England has the power, and or at least has the proper tools to keep scoring. So I don't see that them covering that spread as a problem. To go over a couple of our similar picks, Chicago against Detroit. Detroit's struggling with their quarterback, and Chicago finally getting a little rhythm coming towards the end of the season. I think they're really striving, and I think Detroit's kind of given up. Uh, Jets, again, they're playing Cincinnati. They don't. It's not a huge spread. They just had a huge win over Oakland, which Oakland is supposed to be a difficult team to go against. Even though Big Red is coming back, I can see Jets going away with it. You still searching over there?
Hmm.
Still searching. Okay. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay coming off a big win, going to Jacksonville. They're not going far, so it's not like they're gonna be jet lagged. They're just they're playing down the street. Jacksonville, even with Minshew out or Minshew out, my apologies, and Foles in, they're not performing like you would think, and being the spread only a 1 point spread again. Tampa Bay, who held their own against a team like San Francisco, who was a big scoring team. I think they've put up the points to have a really good week.
All right, and I got the facts. So including, so actually that includes if that's November before that game. So yeah, so they would be 30. So they're 31, 19, and 1 on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, they tied on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, apparently. I'm not gonna look up which one that was. But yeah,
I wonder if I could find that fast. I knew that where it listed every single freaking game.
so yeah, Chicago at Detroit. No Matthew Stafford. Driscoll was limited in practice, has some bruised ribs. Just don't really see them performing. No Kerryon Johnson. They have receivers like in Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones, but I see Chicago's defense really disrupting Driscoll. And I said if he gets hit, I feel like I feel he goes out of this game, not because he's gonna get like badly injured, but he's gonna get hit enough. It's gonna aggravate that rib injury that he has, and we don't want to see him get aggravated an injury even more and be permanently maimed of any manner. So hopefully he takes care of himself. I see Driscoll going out, and then who I don't even know how deep they're gonna have to go to get another quarterback out there. So Chicago takes this one. Yeah, I think if Tampa gets into a shootout with Jacksonville, Tampa wins that one, right? Like Jacksonville is not equipped for a shootout necessarily. Maybe with Foles being back, they might be able to get into it, but I think that this is going to be overall going to be a high scoring game. And I think if Tampa can control the pace, then they can push that gas pedal, and I think they can not necessarily run away with it, but I definitely think they come away with a pretty decisive win.
I'm still looking at scores for Dallas, and somebody's either I've skipped over it or somebody's wrong because I'm not seeing the tie.
I don't
Oh,
know.
there. Oh, just found it. November 27th, 1969, Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers, 24-24.
Okay,
That was literally their fourth game they played, or their fourth Thanksgiving they played.
you tied.
Why is that there?
Why is
We
what there?
we talking side bets right now?
Yeah, we're already past. We've reviewed all of our picks for the week.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna do that on the next episode, but all right, let's talk
Well, no,
about it.
we're teeing it up, right? As far as what we're talking about, right?
Right,
That's
all
what
right,
we did last time.
all right, tee it up.
So, because you're paying up in the next episode.
I am paying up in the next episode.
So this week's side bet, once again, because I gotta say dominant fashion, but I won again. I had the best score between the two of us. We're
Yeah,
doing
I mean,
it's
you,
not a Thursday side bet though, because Atlanta
you
doesn't.
were the more polished turd. I
More,
think is kind of what happened.
I mean, does that mean I was the floater and you were the sinker? I don't know.
I don't know enough about bile to know which one's better.
Um, and this has been your Movember awareness moment. Make sure to get your prostate checked, gentlemen, because knowing is half the battle. Oh, wait, that's the next episode. So we're gonna go as we've been trying to change up the different elements around football. We've decided since we did not pick the New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons game, We're going to use that game for this week's side bet um, on that. And so my pick, since I won, I get to set the terms, right? Is
Right.
total rushing yards. You're going to pick over or under, and I get the opposite side of that, obviously, right? We're not doing like Price is Right rules. It's just we're just opposite sides of the coin, if you will, right? So over under 200 total rushing yards, both teams.
You're just picking a straight 200.
Yeah, so straight 200 total rushing yards between both teams. You have to pick over under.
Man, I don't know enough about rushing yards on these averages, and haven't had enough time to look up how to at least get an average or something.
So are you stalling so you can Google?
I've been Googling for a while now. Um, Total rushing yards. Let's see. We got Breeze throwing. We got is Ryan back?
Yeah, Matt Ryan's back in the lineup.
Matt Ryan's back. So let's go under. I'm gonna go under
You're gonna
200
go
rushing yards.
under 200 total rush yards. So that's between both the Saints and the Falcons combined rushing yards, right? For the game. Under 200. We're clear?
We are clear.
Okay. All right. So now we got to think about. I don't think we
did not set the terms yet.
We didn't set a punishment, right?
No, we'll do that between this and the next episode, and we'll say it in the next episode.
We can say it in the next episode. All right. So when
come find out what we're gonna challenge each other to do.
When you pay up, we'll negotiate actual punishment for the loser on that one.
That sounds fair. While I'm in pain, trying to come up with a good idea. Sounds fair.
Man, inspiration. All right. Until next week, like, subscribe, smash the ever-loving bejesus out of that like button for us. Hit the notification bell. Find us on Facebook at the Bald and Beardiful. We're getting lonely. Write to us at thebaldandbeardiful@gmail.com. We'd like to see your correspondence.
We're tired of just talking to each other.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to like reply to you or anything, but we will read it.
Yeah. We will read it. We will talk about it. We just and again, it's an open forum for us.
All right. Catch the Chaser episode. Watch Bryce pay up for his loss of last week's side bet. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.